So welcome everybody for today's webinar. I'm super excited. It's that time of those months where I get to do webinar and get to meet a lot of you who have been using ServiceWorks. Super happy to be here. We're going to be talking about um, how you can maximize your efficiency using the ServiceWorks mobile app, the second part of it. My name is Mugda. Most of you know me, I think I would like to say that. I will be your host today. I'm very excited to be here. Like I said, thank you for taking time to joining us and participating in these webinars. Thank you for all the time and support that you guys have been showing. Um, we're very excited to share some valuable insights about the ServiceWorks Pro mobile app. Um, I'm saying I'm excited. I'm saying a little bit of valuable insight because the last time we spoke, we had the activity, which was like the new feature we had released when we did that. So I was super happy to showcase that to you guys. And even today, we have something that I'm going to show you towards the middle of our webinar, one of the new things that we have introduced lately. So quick, before we dive in, I just wanted to go over certain things. This webinar is going to be lasting for an hour, including our question and answer session in the end. Um, you have questions, please feel free to post them in the Q&A section. Feel free to upload any of the questions that you think is important and you'd like to get answers to, definitely. Uh, this webinar is also being recorded and you will be sent a link to this recording and some of the additional resources which are connected to this webinar after. We're going to have a survey link that is going to be posted towards the end of your webinar. We would love to know how the webinar went for you. If there's any topics that you would like to go over in our upcoming webinars, it would be extremely helpful for me and my team to put together a webinar for you guys in the coming year 2025. We want to do more of these. This is our 6th webinar for 2024. Would love to do more of those and would love to hear the topics that you would like to see a webinar on. So feel free to drop in the topics that you would like to see webinars on in the chat. Keep the chat going. So let me get on with it. Let's see. All righty. So some of these slides, I have kept them from our previous presentation, our previous webinar. Just for some of you who were not able to attend the previous one, just wanted to bring you guys up to speed really quick on what we did last time. We have focused on the ServiceWorks Pro app to give you a quick overview. The app, ServiceWorks itself, is a comprehensive field management solution that is helping a lot of businesses like yours to run efficiently and smoothly, where you're managing your scheduling, dispatching, and invoicing in customer communication aspect. But the ServiceWorks Pro tool has also been an important component of this whole equation, where it helps you streamline each step of your operations. It works cohesively with your web portal. So it is kind of an important component, especially from the standpoint of a technician who goes out in the field on an everyday basis. Their life is literally on that mobile app that is on their phone or their tablets. So we're going to focus on this particular aspect, and we're going to see how these 4 words take into effect, like how we're going to empower your tech, enable them, how they can engage with your customers or the work orders, and how we can enhance their productivity and overall enhancing your productivity as a company or as a business overall. So, like I said, the app is designed specifically for the techs, and that's our goal. It gives them more power to manage their day-to-day jobs, access customer information, work on the jobs, track inventory, collect payments, all of that good stuff. So throughout the webinar, we're going to explore key features of the app and show you how to use it to its full potential. We're going to cover some key takeaways, best practices towards the end of this webinar. And I would love to hear back from you guys. If you want to drop in your key takeaway from our today's session into the chat, that would help us understand what are some of the things that you guys face in the field and how you guys are, wanting to improvise that. So let's get ready. Let's empower, engage, let's enable and enhance your productivity. So, and I did mention this previously in my webinar that why ServiceWorks Pro is so critical. So let's start mm, by talking a little bit about, the fast-paced service industry where it's heading, whether you have a small team or you have large fleet of technicians or, you have some field workers. Mobility is no longer like a luxury. It's become the convenience. Like you need it. You need to be mobile. It is extremely necessary for in today's world to keep up with the changing trends, the business trends specifically. Today's customers, they expect, timely and efficient service, and we got to deliver that. Your team needs to be connected throughout all the time, between office and the field. um, so ServiceWorks Pro, it's truly invaluable in this case. Like think about your technicians who are traveling from one job to the other. You have a mobile app that actually it's in their hand. It empowers them to manage job, increases their flexibility. These are some of the keywords that enhance, that help you enhance your productivity, your seamless workflow. Like you don't have to be on the phone with your office like all the time if you're making any requests, changes, or letting the office know. It's through the mobile app because you have like the access to the real time to uh, the critical information, like part information, any specific problem description that the customer might have, given to your CSR, or the person who actually took a note of their appointment. So that kind of everything is in the app where you can look at. This leads to like a faster service. You're going to have less errors. You're going to see everything in real time. So that keeps you like ahead in your game. So it helps, provides you with better mobility, better communication, ensures seamless workflow. So this level of connectivity will transform um, the level of at which you guys operate. You're truly trying to be agile. Um, it also gives you like a competitive edge. Now, you guys must have seen this per the ticket. And I did go over this last time. Like I said, a lot of people um, I get a lot of requests about this. So the whole goal was putting it here from the last time was the challenges without the mobile app, what we're going to see. We have received a lot of requests in the past that I need my printed ticket modified. I need this, but um, it is helpful in certain situations where technicians would like to use a paper copy instead of um, your mobile app, but it also increases the likelihood of communication. It adds delays. um, if there is any urgent task that you might not be able to get to those without the mobile app because the information is not in the real time. It will bury you in a lot of manual paperwork. It's going to take you long hours. Imagine a tech was out in the field. They had to work like 10 tickets throughout the day, and they are completely on paper tickets. They're going to grab all that data. They're going to update each of that paper ticket after each of their calls. They're taking notes. Some information might be lost by the time they get to their truck and put in their data, that all the data that you've collected that goes to the office, and then they take an action possibly to put together a purchase order for you, look at and verify what is the cash that you brought, what is the checks that you brought in, or if they have to go process payments with the help of credit cards, that's another process that they need to follow on. So this would leave, a lot of communication gap, between you and the office. It will slow you down, long hours and updating your tickets for both the parties, your tech and people in the office. And a lot of manual data entry is what you're doing at the end of the day. So um, ServiceWorks mobile app actually helps you avoid all of that. The desktop and the mobile app are designed to work in complement with each other. So anything that you update in the mobile app, you're going to see that change take effect into your web portal. The web portal version offers like a detailed interface, where in the office you can get like the full navigation through your screen. Like you can see comprehensive menus for, like you can see your detailed dashboards, advanced setting. It allows you to manage a lot of aspects of your business from a centralized location, Um, it gives you like a full screen navigation, not like the app, but the app is the appropriate space for the technicians to be there. They definitely can, they have the ability to look at the multiple important data points as well. Um, so the mobile app is definitely optimized for smaller screens, handheld devices, or even your iPad and tablets, and where you are like doing the touch navigation. So this app is definitely available on Play Store, App Store. Make sure you have the latest version of the mobile app. Feel free to get it from your App Store, Play Store if you don't have it, and if you would like to tinker and play with it. Definitely a must try thing if you have not done that already. And the mobile app, before we dive into the key features, I would definitely like to make a mention that the mobile app is highly driven by the roles and the permissions in ServiceWorks. Most of you must have seen the screen that roles and permissions will allow administrators to control what your different users in the organization can access and perform within your system. By assigning roles, you can ensure that employees have access to the features and the necessary data for their responsibilities that would empower them and enable them to carry their day-to-day field duties with ease. So make sure, your field techs are capable of doing, view and job, the job details, make sure they can see the status of the job, they can see the description, they are empowered to collect a signature, payment, access customer information if needed. They can look at the service history, which is a very critical day-to-day function. They should have the ability to communicate back and forth with the office and customer if needed in runtime. So those are some of the things that you want to make sure with what your techs can do in the field. From the perspective of real-time scheduling and dispatching, this is what we went over, where your tech is capable to actually assign, look at unassigned jobs as well, or the assigned jobs they can create. If they have the permission to create work orders, they can do so. They can add a new schedule. They can look at, they can reschedule a job if needed. They can do a lot of things from the app. You just have to make sure that they have the right permissions. Some of the key features that we went over last time was employee tracking, like clocking in, clocking out, how that works, submitting, I think, your time off requests, then logging your time for job specific. That's where we talked about the activity feature, where if you are like having 5 different activities for one appointment, like you have to inspect and then a smaller breakdown of your service rather. So you can track like, oh, 10 minutes was spent on just doing this. And then I spent like 15 minutes to just like figure out what the problem was. And then it took me actually like 20 minutes to replace the part or install the new part that actually I had. So those are some of like the smaller breakdown that you can actually track. There's like a timer you can start and you can stop, and you can track your time. Um, Real-time scheduling, like I said, they can create jobs in real time if they have to. Uh, they can search for any active or past work orders if they have to for a specific customer. The route sheet from the mobile app is going to give you an idea about your route. And that is again driven when, your if the route is laid down by the office, whether you are using the optimization or just, making sure your route is organized in a certain some way, then it will show you like the route sheet. If you tap on that, it will show you the map and stuff to show you the route from point A to B and C and D and so on and so forth. We also talked about two-way texting last time when we were there, how the two-way texting actually works. So these are some of the things that we talked about, like job discussions, two-way texting, centralized communication, and all of those good things that we talked about. And then we, of course, summarize that with best practices. So today, what we're really going to dive into is, this is like our driver slide for today. This is what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss some of the core functionalities that is going to help the tech to manage their workday more efficiently. So if you're connected to Marcon from ServiceWorks, model search is one of the very critical aspects that a technician can actually have access to, or they can actually search for a specific model number and the parts and the schematics for that model. So that is a very, very critical feature. We're going to see how you guys can leverage the daily parts required feature, and the daily parts required, is also available for the admin to see it from their end. From if you go to your jobs menu, it would be I think probably the last item of that list saying daily parts required. If you do not see that option in your jobs menu, please make sure that you guys, drop it in our chat or reach out to us. Todd, if you want to post our email in the chat, which is success@service.works, so they can reach out. And if they need any kind of help, we can definitely talk about it. We can schedule a meeting or a quick call. They can share their information so we can reach out to them. So please feel free to do that. So we're going to talk about how we can leverage the daily parts required. We're going to discuss inventory management, like how do you search items by location, creating a one-off purchase order from the mobile app, receiving those purchase orders, the inventory transfers, how we can do that from the mobile app. Invoice management is also one thing that you guys can do. Job management, we're going to discuss about forms, pre-job forms, job forms, and daily forms and job templates. So yes, daily forms, that's the new thing that I was going to talk about today, is a daily form. The daily form is just like one single form for the entire day. It doesn't have to be attached to a specific job per se. It's just one single job. This is a new feature. If you would like to add that to your plan and explore more, please feel free to reach out. Taj has posted the email in the chat. So please let us know how we can help you with that new feature. So let's start diving into the model search and daily parts report. There are two videos that I'm going to show up here in our next slide, which is talking about the model search. So I'm going to stop this one and we're going to restart this one right here. So let's say we're going to see how the model search function works, and then we're going to see how you can search a part by model number directly from the job. So that kind of helps you both ways, just like independently search for a model number from the inventory management, and then see how you can tap on the model number and look for the schematics or the items particularly needed for that specific model number and the serial number. One other thing I just wanted to bring up here is if you do not see this inventory management menu from this hamburger menu of yours, then it is probably that your administrator needs to fix your permission to be able to see this whole menu so you guys can access this information from the mobile app. So just playing this video here real quick. So even if you type in the first three letters of your model search in there, I'm typing the whole one, but if you type in the first three, it will just pull up your model number. And if you tap on that model number, it's going to show you like the schematics loading slowly. And then here is what it's going to show you, the part numbers. You also have this technician here has the ability to actually create a purchase order from the field. So you can see this create PO button. But again, like I said, this is again driven. Create PO feature is definitely driven by your roles and the responsibilities. So if you do not see it, you might want to contact your administrator or administrators. If you guys are in here, then you might want to look at your permissions and if you would like your text to create purchase orders from the field. The next one here is how can we get to the model number from the job? And how can we see, like, here's your model number. If you tap on it, it's going to take you to the same model search option. It directly, puts you in the area where you can see the model number and you can see the schematics and the different components of that specific model. And again, you can, here it's a little different than the previous video where you can actually select the item that is needed and then you can just make sure that it is added. That's the part that got added to your job. And then from the job, you have the option to create a purchase order. So this is like a workflow. It just goes seamless one after the other. So, and I think, thank you, Taj, for posting the model search blog in the chat. So if you guys see that, that is somewhere that you would like to explore this. So that being said, we covered how we can dig into the model number and how that can be efficiently used by the techs in the field and how it can empower them. That's the goal. They're empowered. They know the schematics. They know what part to look for. They're not going to Marcode. They're not going to any, other place to look for it. It's right there. They can see it. Makes them, keeps them ahead of their game. They can access that information at the tip of their fingers. So let's look at our next topic that we're going to dig into is daily parts required and the part disposition, how that is going to be like a critical part in this. So again, the daily parts required, if you look at the menu on the top left, if you tap on that, you should see the daily parts required or parts required. Actually, that's what it's called in the mobile app. When you see that, this is what you're going to see, parts required for jobs. So if you go here, you can actually go here, start look up for a part, and then you can pick from that specific inventory location where you want to pick the part and then transfer it to your truck. So let's say you are starting your day off in the morning, you are going to the office. When you go to the office, you have like 10 jobs that are lined up and you need to pick all those parts. So when you go to parts required, it's going to show you all the 10 parts that are required for that job to be done. And once you have that, there's a pick option. When you tap it, you go pick, 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 and you pick all the parts that are required for your job. You have them on the truck. Now you have accounted for those parts. You picked it up. So it tells the inventory system in ServiceWorks that, oh, these are 10 parts that, you know, uh, technician David picked up and he is on his way out. He's picked all those 10 parts. So that's how you're going to pick the parts from the daily parts required. Now, part disposition also plays a very critical role in it. And ServiceWorks, can automate certain workflow here for you. So let's say if you add a part to the job, you can have the disposition set to as invoice. So that part's price always shows on your invoice, then you don't have to worry about, oh, why am I not seeing the part in here? So you could do that. And the part disposition, like, if you mark it as delivered, it's going to touch your inventory, it's going to deduct it from your inventory module, and then it's also going to put it on the invoice. Some of the, critical dispositions are like, I would say invoice, installed or delivered, or like keep on ticket, or returned to the shop or vendor. So these are some of the important ones that you could actually take a look at. I just want to list these dispositions here because I feel like they're a critical part of the technician's day-to-day. There is a nice blog that we have about dispositions, what they talk about and what each disposition means. I would say it's been a while we've had this allocated disposition. So that's kind of a nice to use disposition where you are not touching the inventory, you're not deducting from the inventory, but you're just reserving those certain parts typically for a specific job. So that kind of says that you have 6 in hand, but you have 2 allocated for certain jobs. So that is actually a very good disposition intermediately to, use between invoice or delivered. So that's something that if you guys want to look at, that is a good one if you're considering to say, okay, I want to know that what I'm reserving for certain parts, certain jobs beforehand when I have that. So our next topic is our inventory management. Now, our previous 2 topics also revolved around inventory, like model search, you are putting a part on the job, and then the next one, you are trying to see what are the parts that are required for the job. So we're going to dive into how you can search inventory items and how you can transfer and adjust, and then how you can manage purchase orders from ServiceWorks. And um, product management is also one option where you could actually search uh, either ways. Like you can put in the model number and search for the customer, put the customer information in the search for the model number that you have worked previously with that customer. So that's also one way to look at. So let's look at our next videos that will show you how to use search an item. Again, we're going to go from this inventory menu. So let me pause this one. And then we're going to go here and watch this one first. Yeah. So we go to inventory management, and we're going to go to this menu and we can search. So Either you can put in an item number or search, or you can just click the search button. If you just click the search button, it's going to pull up all the parts from your inventory completely. But if you want to narrow down and put your data, what you're going to search, then you can do like WH01, 2, whatever the part number is, and you can, search for those parts. It says item on hand 1, so it will show you the information, the price, and the cost. Now, if you have bins defined in your location, then you can see in what bins that part is. So it just goes down to your bin level to show you where that part is sitting in your inventory. And like I said, if you just click on the search button, it's going to pull up everything, all the data that you have in your inventory book of ServiceWorks. So that's going to push in that information to your mobile app. So that also tells your tech that, this is a part that you actually have in one of your locations. Maybe that's office or somebody else's truck. It will show you all that information through the inventory search. So that's about how you can search for an item in your inventory module of ServiceWorks. Now, inventory transfers. So this is the third option in this menu that you can see. You can create a transfer from one location to the other. So you basically go to transfer, you search for an item that you would like to transfer. Let's say the bin door. We're going to pick it from one location and we are going to transfer it to a different location. And that could be your truck location, or it could be your main location, wherever you're picking it up from to transfer it. You can definitely transfer, make sure that you are putting in the quantity that you'd like to transfer, because that's the key information when you try to transfer your information. Q&A. Gavin, I see that you posted a question. You said you have a question on parts distribution. Can you go ahead and post your question so Taj can answer that while we are here, and others also can see your question, and if they want to upload, they can. And I select default location and the bin for each user. So I see Ivan asking that question. So at this point of time, I think when you set up your inventory locations, there is one information that you can set as a default in your inventory location. And your question is, can you select a default location by per user? That's a very good suggestion, Ivan, for feature enhancements perspective. Definitely, if you want to go ahead and send us a enhancement request, we would be more than happy to take it to our product owner and have it run by them, and the devs can take a look at it also. It's a great suggestion. Thank you so much for that. Awesome. That is cool. Great. Thank you so much. Sorry, there was like a red dot on there for the chat and the question and answer, and I was like, I need to take that. What is it? All right. All right, go ahead and put in. So, okay, I'm gonna pause these videos. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about creating a purchase order and receiving purchase orders. So when you are in the job, like I mentioned, and we saw that a couple of minutes ago, how you can have that button enabled, which says create purchase order. So that button actually enables you to send a purchase order directly to your distributor. If you're connected to Marcon and you hit that button, it will send a purchase order directly to Marcon. If you are set up with, Encompass, it will send it to Encompass. And if you are set up with other distributor, which is not electronically integrated into ServiceWorks system like Marcon and Encompass, you can make sure that you use the field send purchase order email correctly when you set that distributor up. When you set it up and their email is right, we can send a copy of your purchase order to that email so your purchase order is actually sent to them. So let's look at this small video snippet which talks about creating a purchase order from the job. So you can actually add a part to the job, and then if you have that button available, then you can select the parts that you would like to place an order for and just click that button which says create PO. Now, when the technician can create a purchase order, they also have the ability to receive the purchase order. And They can receive it right from the mobile app. Super easy. There is a receive via option on the other screen, like you see. We're going to see that in a second after this video gets played. So you can pick your distributor, and that is actually helpful. So that is also something that I wanted to bring up. And most of the time, if you're not paying attention to that detail, we can just overlook that. But selecting your distributor, if you do that one bit, just takes about like one click. That also makes the job of your parts ordering person easier in the office. Then they have the ability to filter the items needed page just by the distributor. And they can see, oh, I have to place an order for 20 parts for distributor X because you guys did the best part. You guys selected the right distributor when you put the part on there. So that's one bit that we can also, make sure that you are putting in the right information when you're there. Okay, I think, Taj, if you want to take a look at Gavin's question, and if you want to answer that, you can, or we can keep it towards the end as well. Um, Receiving a purchase order. Let's look at how we receive a purchase order. Thank you, Gavin, for posting that question. Okay, so we're going to look at how to receive a purchase order. This is the one that we're going to receive. We go to receive purchase order. Again, super simple. If you just hit that button, search purchase order, it's going to bring in all the purchase orders you have in here. And then it did bring this one up. You can use this mobile, the scanner for the part. You can scan your part and check it in, or you could enter the part information. There is the place for invoice information, which I did not enter, but I can show you that. This is the place where, okay, I'm going to pause here for a second. The enter invoice number. This is very critical piece of information that you guys can enter while you can. Yeah, so I'm seeing Ivan's question in chat. I need to go back to look up part. Like when you put in the model number, it will show us the part number that we can order. Is that the mobile app user only, or we have the same option on the desktop? Jocelyn, we can have that same option for the desktop as well. We definitely can get together and dig deeper into this for you. If you want to go ahead and send me your information at success at service.works and send me your questions. And if you want to do like a quick call, I'd be more than happy to help. Thank you for putting it in there. And to talk about the scanner thing, I'll touch base on it as well. So if you have the barcode printed for your parts, with the scanner, you will be able to scan that part information and check it in into ServiceWorks. So that is how you can scan. I think there is a blog post that we have on scanning items into ServiceWorks. So I guess Taj definitely shared that in here. So Ivan can, yeah, there you go. He already did that. Okay, great. I see April raising her hand. Let me at least, okay, you can try keep on. Okay, so Gavin's question is answered as well. Okay, great. All right, yeah. I wanted to go back to Gavin's question. I know there's questions coming in all directions, and he sent this question first, so I didn't want to feel like I didn't answer that question. So thank you, Taj, for doing it. It's super helpful. But yes, and Ivan, we can, you can reach out to us, support at service.works, success at service.works. We can talk about the scanning of the parts as well. So yeah, definitely something that we can discuss. Thank you so much, Taj, for answering that. So we are good. All right. So next, another feature is like the invoice management feature. You can look up paid, due, cancel, overdue invoices from ServiceWorks. Again, it's a permission-based function. You can process past due invoices if you are in the field, if you have access to the payment information. If you're connected to payment gateway through ServiceWorks, definitely you have the opportunity to run a credit card payment in the field, or you can take a cash payment, check payment, all of that from the field itself. The techs also have the ability to email the copy of the invoice. It's like instant invoicing. You are on the go. You are doing that. You are collecting payments for your invoices due. You're doing all of that while you're in the field. Imagine if you had to do all of that, like if you did it on paper, if you took all that information from paper, gave it back in the office, they would have to do it in the office. So that's like a lot of time is already gone and passed over that. We may forget to, you know, tag on to, tap onto the important jobs where we have to invoice and that kind of gets missed. That's a big problem we don't want to run into. So this video is going to help you take a look at the invoice management module of the mobile app. Like I said, it is again through the menu option that you would go there. I hope this is the right video for that. So if your technician has the ability to add services to the ticket, they can add those service items instantly, and then they can actually go ahead and take the payment from the mobile app itself. Cash, card, check, all of this is available. Getting a signature, that's like a confirmation of getting a payment in the field. So you can get the signature, you can see what invoices are paid and what gets done in the field itself. Then you can attach the invoice, you can preview the invoice, and you can send the invoice email out right from the field itself. So that's done right then and there. You don't have to wait for it to come back. Look up paid warranty invoices. Tash, can you look at Ivan's question about invoice management for warranty claims? Okay. So that is, you can look up, I think it's playing the same video. Okay. Yeah, this is where I'd like to be at. So if you go to this menu option, you go to the invoice management, and you can see what is actually due or not from here. So take a look at that. Okay, so you can search by your pay period, like the period of the past due, cancel, overdue, those are the kind of things. It also gives you the job number, which is there. It tells you how old that invoice was. So you just have to make sure you set it up all of that correctly so you can see all of that falling in the correct buckets. Sorry. So that is how you can take a look at the invoicing. It also gives you a PDF file of your invoice, definitely. So that's like a plus function on top of what your text can actually do. So there's that. All right. So core features for field text, again, we're touching base on job management. That is the pre-job forms, the job forms, and the daily forms. And we have something called as job templates. If that is something that is a part of your plan, you actually can create a job template for a certain user, like if I would say, let's see, I want to see particularly, I'd like to bring somebody's attention to this. Yeah, so Jim, I don't know if you have explored job templates, but I know you come from a cleaning background as well. So you can actually create a job template for a specific customer. Say they always like their job to be done this way, always have these services on the job. They always get this discount on the job. So you can actually create a job template for that specific customer, and then you can keep creating jobs based off of that job template, keeping that job template as a baseline. So that is also something that, if you want to access through the mobile app or even from ServiceWorks web portal, that is a possibility that you'd like to explore. Just makes your job easier, day easier. Pre-job forms are the job forms that you can create, and then you can attach those pre-job forms to the job. That means that your technician actually needs to complete and fill that form out, particularly to even see the job information on their daily list of jobs. So as the name suggests, it is a pre-job form. You need to finish that before you can actually see the job information. So that's what the purpose of the pre-job form is. The job forms, we all know there are different checklists that they can be created on per job basis. You could attach those job forms to those tickets. Your technicians can access that from the field. They can fill those up. They can, check boxes, write answers, take pictures, signatures, everything from the job form and do it. Daily forms are at the, however you want to use them and call it, like towards the beginning of the day or towards the end of the day. It's just one single form, which is not attached or tailored to any job. It's just there for you to attach it to the job and then have the technician fill it out, like one job, one thing that you would like to know from them towards the beginning of the day or towards the end of the day, depending on how you guys want to use it. It's like, daily form, not a job form, which is attached with every job. So let's see how we access that information. Stop. Okay. I'm going to look at the first one. We're going to look at a pre-job. I guess this is forms and together. So pre-job forms, like if you go back to the screen, I'm going to play that again. You go in from the job management menu. Once you're in here, you look at this option called as pre-job. Once you access that, you will see all the jobs listed, which have the pre-job form as an attachment, and how you access that and how you finish it. Once you finish it, you will then see the job on your daily job list. So let's go ahead and watch that video. It will be followed by your, job forms and daily forms. All of it will follow along in that video. That's our pre-job form. And once we submit that, we will be able to see our job. Yeah, there you go. It's the job. And now you can see the job. We're going to look at, yes, that's the job, Patty. So once you go there, you can see other jobs, other job forms here. And you could also add a job form if the tech has the ability to add forms. I wanted to keep it here so you guys can see that a tech can pick a form that he needs to add for the job. And it will only show him the job forms so he can pick and choose to, what he'd like to use for that job. So once he fills it out, and then you can just fill it out and make sure that you've submitted all the forms. You select them and click on the submit button. So it goes to your office and it shows like all of those forms in your job screen. It's all green in color, the ones that are filled and submitted. So this is a daily form. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Let's see. Maybe next time me and Taj would work on, making these videos a little bit slower so you guys can focus if that feels it's too fast. So, if you guys agree with me, just give me a thumbs up and we'll try to slow these videos down for you guys. So that's our daily job form. It's, it's from your dashboard screen, sits right here. You can go from here, you can tap on it and then fill in your daily form and have that as well out on the record for it. So that's about the job forms. Now we're going to see the job template here quickly. And thank you, Taj. He's been posting all the blog related information there, answering my questions. Thank you. I'm thankful for you being my co-host. Thank you so much. So let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, so there was a job. Why does it show that? I think I believe it's the same video that got posted on this one. I apologize for that. but I will find that video which talks about creating a job from the job template. Mm, I have that in the basket of my videos that I've recorded. I apologize for that, but I will send it. And I don't know if Taj has something on the job template aspect. He should have something. Uh, or if not, he'll send something out when we put together the material for sending out this webinar session to you guys. Um, okay. So some of the best practices that I'd like to go over, we have like 10 minutes. I just wanted to go over our best practices, tips, and troubleshooting things that we want to go over. And then I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your takeaways from today? So always for best practices, make sure you plan ahead of time. You're working in an agile mode. Make sure you update everything that you do in the app. May that be the disposition status or your inventory that you picked, the disposition of your parts. Make sure that you're marking that correctly. Um, Verify your daily parts list before you get out of the door, just to make sure that you've picked up all you need. Um, Use the communication channels through the app. Use your two-way texting to talk to your customers. And if you guys don't have that in your plan, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to educate you on that and show you how, game changing those features could be. Job discussions, talk about some of the appointments that you are going to, and you want to talk about that to the office. Use those job discussions, be in sync with what the office is doing instead of, picking your phone call. Use the app, leverage what you have in there so that will keep you, you know, uh, will give you mobility. You will be faster than, slowing you down. Sometimes a phone call can slow you down. It's a long list, but I couldn't stop myself from putting in these tips together. I know it's a lot, but this also comes a little bit from our last session as well. Um, like I said, use real-time updates, use barcode scanner for quick check-in of parts, regular inventory checks, set your low stock alerts, the ROP and EOQ. We've gone over that in our previous sessions when we were talking about transparency of parts in ServiceWorks. We talked about this topic for a long time. ServiceWorks does have the ability to send you an alert when you're running low on certain parts, So track your usage of parts by job or technician. Make sure you do that. Preset your invoice templates for efficiency. Make sure that everything is set up in your invoice correctly so the technician is not stumbling or like, oh, why do I see this, in the invoice. Collect signatures digitally. That's a big one. So leverage that. Set up required fields for standardization, customize your forms, match your job types. So that is one very big tip, you know, to optimize your process. Add checklists for quality checks. If you want to do set up daily start and end forms, the daily forms, please, definitely leverage that. Track technicians, safety and compliance with the help of the forums. So use all of that that can be used and put on the job. So here are some of the troubleshooting things, if you stumble upon something in the app, make sure you enable automatic updates so your app is always updated. Clear your cache and data if that needs to be. Restart your device, check your internet connection, verify permissions, log out, log back in, check device storage, reinstall the app, and reach out to us if you are not able to get your app to work. We are here to help. And if you can share screenshots or videos of what you got, that'd be very, very helpful for us to triage. So these are some of the takeaways that I definitely feel are important. I would just give like 30 seconds and I would really love to know, uh, what is your best takeaway from our today's webinar? So if you just want to put in like one word or two words, whatever you guys think you guys absorb from this session. I would love to see, dropping those in the chat so I will understand what you guys are taking home with you from today. So if you guys want to do that, please go ahead. I can give it like 30 seconds. I'm watching the chat. I was saying part disposition blog post. All options are very helpful. Job templates. Huh. Okay, great. I would love to hear from Ivan how he wants to use job template. That would be new. So that would be good. Awesome. All right. I would say to everyone, okay, so that is perfect. Keep it coming, guys. It's very interesting to see what you guys are taking with you today. All right, next webinar. I would love to hear from you guys today what I should present when I come back in, maybe next month. I don't know. We have a lot of holidays coming up. So if you want to bring something up for 2025 January, I would love, love, love to hear back from you guys and put it in the chat, or, Taj is also going to send a survey link for the webinar, which he's ahead of me. Look at him. It's already there. Thank you, Taj. Gavin, inventory tracking. We definitely can touch base. We can do another webinar next year for inventory tracking. I'm not sure if you have access to the 4 webinars that we had done about transparency of parts. That is going to be very helpful if you watch all 4 of them. That is like 4 hours of your time. I'm literally asking, but we have those sessions recorded in YouTube. And Taj, if you want to, send a copy of those past webinars when we send an email to all the attendees today, it would be very helpful. So thank you so much, Gavin. Yes, they are helpful. I mean, if you want to watch them over the holidays, I mean, nobody wants to work on the holidays, but that's when you usually would like to catch up on these kind of things. So uh, if you want to do that, that would keep things going and interesting. But thank you so much, all of you guys. Easy KPI tracking. I like that. Yes, let's do that. We'll work on that. Updates notification in case ServiceWorks is currently upgrading or having a system issue. Okay, Taj. I think Taj can make a note of that. Great. All right. That is fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. I really, really enjoy talking to you all. I really love doing these sessions with y'all. So please let us know how we did. There's a survey link again. If you can give me 2 minutes of your time, other than what you've already given me, I would really appreciate that. So go ahead, do your surveys, and let us know what kind of help we can do for you. We're always here to help. And happy holidays and happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and hope to see you guys again soon.